we're government owned and operated, which is wonderful because we have the funding of the government. So comparing to private providers, it certainly gives a little bit of peace of mind for parents to know that the financial backing of the government will ensure our doors remain open, because we're not just for international students, but also for the domestic students in the state to deliver skills that are required by the industry. So also really important. We're the biggest provider in the state of Queensland. We've got over 23 locations around Queensland with programs for international students. More than that, I think it's more than 50, including for the domestic market, but for around 23 for internationals. Amazing facilities and strong industry links, but I'll go into a little bit more detail throughout the presentation. Of course, surveys and statistics are always really helpful. And we're in the high 90s or in the 90s for some of these, which is good. Student satisfaction being the key. 90% of our students are satisfied with the training that they get at Tafe Queensland. So as counsellors, that's something that you'll be able, when you're recommending where a student would study, you can rest assured that Tafe Queensland will give the student an experience that they're going to be happy with, that they're paying for, that they're going to get the qualification that they're looking for. And our graduates, 90% are going on to further study, either at our university pathway partners or they're being employed in the industry, which is why you study. So they're there to get jobs. So really good numbers there. And then I do just want to show you a really quick video that'll just intro you to Tafe Queensland, show you a bit about our facilities, because we're virtual, you can't come and visit, so it's nice to see some of these things in videos. So please enjoy. Great, so that's it. That's my whole presentation wrapped up there in a minute and a half, so I don't need to go on any further. Hopefully that's got everything that you need there to continue to promote Tafe Queensland. Just joking, I've got a little bit more to go. So moving on now to our study areas. We've got a broad range of study areas available for international students. That's the list that we've got there. But from here, I just want to jump over to our website, so you can also see and navigate around the website. So this is the Tafe Queensland website here, and then up the top you'll see the word international. If you click on that, everything from here is for international students on a student visa. So it's really easy to navigate here. Our marketing team have put a new carousel of some great resources up the top there, programs, course guides. But if you're talking to a student and you just want to quickly see if we have the program available, I recommend you come here to the international price list, because this is the most current, the most updated anytime anything gets updated, it automatically goes on here, and you can see the last update happened today. So whether they might have added a new intake or something on there. But this will give you the full list of programs that we have available for international students, and that key info: qual, CRICOS, total tuition, the locations, duration, and the intake dates for the programs. Typically, most programs will have 2 intake dates. We've just gone into start of study for semester 1, and we've got a bit of late start, so we're still taking students at the moment for weeks 2 and 3. And then the next intake is typically going to be July, so 12th of July. But this is the best spot for you to go and just check whether we have the programs available. And then from here, you can easily find out a little bit more information. So you can just click the hyperlink on the program name, and it will take you into the program information page. So all the program information pages are all set up exactly the same. So it's going to be easy for you to navigate. Qualification outcomes, what sort of jobs the students could expect to be qualified as and to be applying for once they complete this qualification. Important for when they're preparing any sorts of statements of purpose or GTE statements, that they understand the outcomes of the program. Scrolling down, a little bit more of a summary, a little bit about the industry in Australia, and then the units. Again, really important that the students have a good read of the subjects that they're going to study, so that they clearly understand the choice that they're making. So they can come in here, see the full list of the program, the subjects, and click on and get a little bit more information. So I always encourage the students to read in here. Sometimes they refer to some of these units, these units when they're preparing GTE and statements of purpose. Further down, sorry, it is a little bit of scrolling, but if you come down to almost the bottom, there's the entry requirements for each of the programs. And I will talk a bit more in detail about that, but that's where you'll find the entry requirements for international students, the English language, academic, and if there's anything else, any other kind of prerequisite. But that's typically the key information that you'll be sourcing there. I won't obviously go through all the programs in detail because there is such a huge list, but Ivy will be able to connect you with me if you have any questions about any programs specifically. I'm more than happy to answer more details about the questions, about the programs. English language, I will talk a little bit about that for you at the moment. With our borders being shut, English language, we are delivering virtual classes for English language at the moment. So in general English at that upper intermediate level, and also English for academic purposes. So students that are at the higher end at this stage of their English, preparing to pathway into their formal programs. So it's $220 per week for the English. There is a $110 material fee for every 12-week block of study. We do have placement tests available, which students can take via Zoom with our English faculty if they would like to build an English into VET package. So you can contact me and I can assist you to set up if your students are offshore, a placement test via Zoom, or if you have students onshore in Queensland, they can come into one of our campuses and do a placement test so we can see where they're at and build a plan from there. That's if they don't have an IELTS or something like that. I'm just going to scroll through here and see if there's anything else that jumps out at me. IT, nursing, health programs, fitness programs, tourism. Okay, but that's where I would recommend you go to in the first instance to see if we have it available. Back to my presentation so you know I'm on track. I'm not sure how much experience everybody has. I'm just going to assume that you're familiar with the Australian qualification framework and that Tafe sits within the VET sector. For international students, we're delivering from Certificate 3 for diploma. We have some advanced diplomas, one associate degree in civil engineering, and we have one bachelor degree in dental prosthetics. And then we have university pathways and partners, which our diplomas will articulate to and provide credit. But this is the sector where we sit on the AQF. Study locations. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got around 23 study locations around Queensland, the state of Queensland. So your students, if they're looking for a city experience or regional, metropolitan, all just on that. Brisbane is considered metropolitan, and then all our other locations are considered regional locations. So if your student wants to study regionally with a metropolitan field, then they might look at somewhere like the Gold Coast or regional coastal, Sunshine Coast, further north Cairns. Excuse me. Sorry, it's my son just arrived from school. Cairns and then inland to Toowoomba. Another great resource that we do have on our website, if and your students are overseas with you and obviously can't come to Queensland to see us, we've got here on our international landing page, our virtual campus tours. And our marketing team have also developed some regional highlights. So if you're speaking with a student and they're looking at Brisbane, you could jump in here, show them around the campus and show them a little bit about Brisbane so they can get a bit of a feel for it. So these resources are really helpful. If you haven't been to Queensland before or some of the locations, I'd encourage you when you have a chance to jump on these videos and have a bit of a look, because it'll really help you with understanding about our locations and what we offer at the different campuses. So Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba campuses, in Cairns, Tropical Far North, Skills Tech, which is our trade engineering location, which is incredible, Gold Coast. So these resources are really, really helpful for you as counsellors talking with your international students overseas. I'll just quickly go through the locations that we have. Brisbane is the main locations, and these are the campuses that we have across Brisbane. Not all campuses have all programs available. Some of them are specialised, and but somewhere like South Bank, which is right in the heart of Brisbane City, that's got most of our programs available. But you'll be able to see which locations on our price list that I showed you before. Gold Coast, which is 1 hour south of Brisbane. It's almost like a city on the beach. It's a regional location. So that's really beautiful. And since that we hosted the Commonwealth Game, the government had invested quite a lot of money in upgrading the Gold Coast. So there's tram lines now for public transport and students able to move around the city. But the beachfront itself is really beautiful and it looks really lovely. Sunshine Coast, which is where I am, and I am today. This is about 1 hour north from Brisbane City. It's our regional location again. We've got around 60 kilometres of beaches. We have health is the biggest sector here. We have quite a new university hospital here, which our nursing students study at, along with the university nursing students. They also study there. And also the other sectors here are tourism and agriculture. We have farming industries around here as well. Going further up the coastline, we've got the Wide Bay, Bundaberg and Hervey Bay. Bundaberg's really important. That offers trade qualifications there and nursing qualifications, but that's a big farming region. I'm not sure if you're hearing about the demand for workers at the moment, but there is thousands and thousands of jobs in farming at the moment in these regions in Bundaberg. So students that are looking at trades or nursing and not going to stay with family or something, they're sort of open to choosing different locations, might want to look at somewhere like Bundaberg, which is regional, low cost of living, and great work opportunities for students. And immigration just changed the visa conditions for students that study in agriculture, that they can work unlimited hours because there's just so much demand. So that's a great location for students to consider. Okay, Toowoomba is from Brisbane. You go inland around 2 hours. Again, this is another big farming region. It's known as a food bowl. We have nursing, cookery, hospitality, but the specialty program that we offer there is agriculture and agribusiness management. It's a dual qualification, and students that have studied this program typically come from families that own farms and are looking to take the family farm to that next level and develop it as a business. So if they choose that program, they're certainly immersed in that industry down in Toowoomba. And then going further up north, we've got our North Queensland, Townsville, Cairns, Whitsundays campuses, the Great Barrier Reef, the Daintree Rainforest, very tropical climates. Tourism is the biggest industry up there, as well as the farming sectors, agriculture sectors. Cookery students are all working, very low cost of living. Yeah, really, really beautiful location up there as well. There is an international airport in Cairns when they open those borders up. It'll be interesting to see which flight paths are going through Cairns. But yes, it does have an international airport there. Another question I got asked quite a lot by counsellors is, do we have student accommodation? Tafe Queensland doesn't have any of its own student accommodation, but we have partners. And there's been a lot of student accommodation being built, certainly around Brisbane. And I'll show you how to navigate to that information on our website if I just jump back here. So Tafe Queensland International, and our marketing team, hopefully I can show you where to navigate. They keep changing it and upgrading our website. Okay, so here, life in Australia. So this is some information for students about, living in Australia, which I'm sure you have your own resources for to provide, but also accommodation. You can click in here. Just come down a little bit, and then student accommodation. So if the student's looking to study in Brisbane, these are some of the accommodation providers in Brizzy, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Cairns, and then in Toowoomba. So you can click from these hyperlinks and go directly into our partners pages. Seems to be a lot of specials around at the moment, so hopefully the accommodation providers are communicating that to you. But if not, certainly let me know and I can connect you with the accommodation providers so that they can update you on their latest specials and promotions. Cost of living. One point that I always make when students are looking at studying in Australia, oh, my friends are in Sydney, my friends are in Melbourne, I want to go there, which is understandable. But a reason that they might consider coming to Brisbane is the cost of living. Cost of living in Brisbane and certainly regional Queensland is a lot more affordable, especially with all the work that's available here at the moment. So if students haven't got family or friends that they're going to stay with, that's another reason that they might want to choose to study in Queensland, is that they're going to be able to save some money. There's less competition with international students or students on a whole for accommodation. So they're going to be able to get themselves something quite nice for a lot less than say living in CBD Melbourne or CBD Sydney. student support, this is a really important area, especially if you're talking with parents of young students and families. Our international student support officers play a really important role in our students' lives. They're the first people that they meet when they come and start their study with us. They conduct the international student orientation, but they're there to support the students' welfare throughout the study. So they're the door that they can always go to if they have any questions. They need help with study, they need to find somewhere to live, maybe they're struggling to find work. Anything they need, they can go to our international student support officers, and they can either assist them or connect them within their network with the resource to support them with what it is that they need. But definitely very, very important role. And especially now in the recent time with COVID that's gone on, and we've had students sort of stuck here, unable to go home. The international support officers have been that much more important in our students' lives. And just on that, I would like to share with you just something that we did during the COVID period to support our students, because yeah, we could see that students were the effects that they were losing jobs and maybe accommodation, and things were closing. So we started a food bank for the students, and it just started with somebody from our international team wanting to bring some food in for the students, and then it just sort of continued on from there. And so many people from Tafe were involved in donating food and goods for the students, and also we had lots of charities and lots of partners, and even our partner agents were donating food and money for our students, and it was just incredible, and something that I'm so proud to have been a part of with TAFE Queensland. So I just want to show you one of the videos here, maybe this one here is Sammy, just about what it meant to her, the resource.
Hi, I'm Samira Moraes. I go by Sammy. I'm originally from Brazil. So this whole COVID-19 crisis did affect me as an international student, and I do believe it affected many other students, and we found ourselves in a situation where we were in doubt if we could pursue or not in our dreams here in Australia. TAFE truly support us as international students. TAFE was an amazing key to keep ourselves positive and hopeful that we're gonna one day go back to normal, to our normal lives, and that's what's been happening. So it was great to see how they were so ready to help us out with anything that we needed. Even in terms of the tuition and all the food bank you guys gave to us, it was extremely important, because even though it was food, just the fact that we avoided going to the supermarket and doing groceries, all these, it did help us to go through this rough time. I know that TAFE is the one that provide us everything, but behind all these, there's so many other companies that also supported TAFE to do such a beautiful gesture and help us out. So I would like to thank all the companies and organizations that, with TAFE support us. Thank you so much, TAFE Queensland.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really proud of as working at TAFE Queensland. It's the food bank that we were able to arrange, and we've still got it going now. Actually, we've still, just on the other side of where I'm sitting, we've still got deliveries of fruit and veggies for the students, so that they can come in and just save some of their money and get some fresh veggies, so that they can make sure that they're eating well. So that's great. Okay, moving on, vocational placement. This is another key area that we do really well. Vocational placement is sometimes called internship, sometimes called work experience, but it's hours that students need to do within in industry. So it's part of the qualification, and it's a requirement of the qualification. So our teachers and TAFE itself has really strong industry connections. So we're able to assist students to get placement opportunities to do their vocational placement. Not all our qualifications have vocational placement, but programs like Diploma of Nursing, as an example, has around 400 hours. And you can see the number of hours on that program information page on our website. But yeah, that's certainly key, and the benefits of that is that students, obviously they get the work experience, they make the connections with the industry, they've got something to put on their resume when they finish their qualification. But also many students are offered part-time work in the industry while they're studying, so that's wonderful. So they can be working in the industry that they're studying for while they continue to study. And I'm just conscious of time, so I'm not going to show that video, but that we have got some great videos which I'll link to about vocational placement from the students' testimonial and also our industry partners talking about the benefits of it. But yeah, happy to share those with you afterwards as well. University pathways, that's also very important for you. So these are some of our university partners that we have. So some of the markets I know, if we have Myanmar here, Cambodia, even the Philippines as well, Vietnam, university pathways are very important. So we do have a pathway guide, which is on our website as well. So back on that, our homepage, the international homepage, if you just come down a little bit and it's under here, International Pathways, click in here to learn more, and that's English, diploma to degree. So download our International Pathway Guide, and here you'll be able to see all the formal articulation that we have set up already with partners. But of course, our qualifications are nationally recognised. So if a student was to study at Tafe, Queensland, and then decided that they wanted to go and study in Melbourne or West Australia or Sydney or something, then the university, you just need to send them a copy of either the award or a copy of our letter of offer, and they would consider it and provide credits that way. For counsellors, the process is you would apply to TAFE Queensland for the diploma first, get our letter of offer, and then you would submit our letter of offer together with the university application directly to the university. So you manage that part of that. You apply to TAFE, offer, then to the university, get the offer, accept TAFE's offer, get the COE, and then submit that to the university and get the COE from the university, and then student can apply for a student visa to cover the whole bulk of the study. But you as the partner, the agent, will manage that side of things. We also have English language pathways. So of course, we would love the students to study English with us, but if they choose to study at one of our partners, then upon successful completion of their programs, they can pathway directly to TAFE Queensland. They won't need to take an IELTS test or anything like that, other than Diploma of Nursing. That's the only program that will not provide a direct pathway from any English, not even our own. Entry requirements. So typically for a certificate, 3 or 4 diplomas, the English language entry requirement, we're looking for equivalent to an academic IELTS 5.5, no score less than 5, and we accept other forms of English testing and other ways of showing evidence of English language. So if you have a unique case, please let me know and I can certainly look at it for you. But that's what we're looking for, equivalent to the academic IELTS 5.5. Back to our website, there is an equivalency document that is quite helpful for you to refer to. So from the main page, how to apply, and then English language requirements, there's this document here, the equivalencies. So it has all the different tests that we have so that you can easily see. Sometimes from high school, so Malaysia, for example, we would accept SPM 1119 C grade or higher, or B. Any of the other countries? No, not any other Southeast Asia, but Philippines, for example, if student has studied a bachelor degree in English or medium of instruction is English, we just need a letter from the university and I can submit that to faculty for approval. So just let me know if you have a unique case and I can certainly work with you to see if it can meet English language. Academic. English nursing is academic IELTS 7777. Like I mentioned before, there's no other pathway into that. We can certainly build a plan for the student to study English and then come to us, but they're still going to have a condition on their offer to say that they will still need to take a formal test, IELTS or PTE or TOEFL or OET, before they actually can start the diploma of nursing. Dental tech has a slightly higher. The associate degree civil has a slightly higher, and Bachelor of Dental Prosthetics has a slightly higher English language requirement. I mentioned earlier a little bit about the placement test, so we can take that via Zoom to develop an English plan for your students, and there's no charge to do that. We also do a Tafe Queensland English test called ISLPR, which can also be done via Zoom. So for those of you in countries where IELTS may not be running at the moment, students can take the test with us via Zoom, and that will meet entry. If they get the right score, that can be used to meet entry into the program. The cost if the student is offshore is $200, which we're trying to remain competitive, or if they're onshore in Australia, it's $300. So that's been a really popular option recently for students to take the ISLPR test, and please let me know and I can assist you to make bookings for that with our English team. Just one last video that I'd like to show you. It's just a couple of minutes, but it's a great little testimonial about from the students and from industry that have had our graduates study with us, and then go on to work with them.
I think Tafe Queensland is suitable for international students because they really focus on providing this integration between international student and domestic student also. The Tafe Job Readiness program is basically an online program that, for me, it sort of takes you on a journey from studying into finding a job. It helps you, it gives you the do's and don'ts and the tricks and tips. It just builds you up to really find this suitable job and to be a successful graduate.
I chose to study with Tafe Queensland as it's highly reputable and well known. The practical skills that I learned have helped me a lot.
This was the best course that I came across, and the curriculum was designed perfectly whatever I wanted.
They teach differently, like in theory and practical. They really focus on each and every student.
Very determined to actually help their students in succeeding in the course.
Tafe Queensland teaches me with all the real equipment and focus more on hands-on training.
I'm doing internship at the moment with Secure Stack.
The Tafe allows me to find people that are hungry and have technical skills and bring them in, mentor them, help them understand the broader operations and technical world that we live in.
For us, there's nothing better than having young people come through and take their place and gear up and skill up and tell the future stories. It's just a really important thing.
I'm really impressed with the quality of students that are coming to us from Tafe Queensland.
And it's been really great to get the students into the properties, to teach them how to cook, to show them a little bit about the industry.
And I'm certainly going to continue to do it, so I suggest that other people do it too as well.
Riviera has been working with Tafe Queensland since 1997 to deliver high quality training to our apprenticeship program. In 2016, we expanded our program to place international students around our site under the tutelage of our world-class tradesmen and women.
And it was a lot of fun to meet them, talk to them, get a foot in the door and do things for real.
3 weeks after completing my course, I got a full-time job with Telgo, and it's an amazing experience because I brought my knowledge from Tafe Queensland to Malaysia as well, and the company that I'm working with.
Okay, great. And then just one final thing that I wanted to talk about, I just didn't cover during my presentation or when we were looking at the price list. There is, importantly for you, is deposit structure and payment installments. So if I just jump back here. So at the moment, the deposit, if a student is just coming to study one of our formal programs, a deposit to secure the COE is $1,000. And then we break the tuition fee up into semester installments for the students. And then within the semester, we're breaking it down to a further 3 installments throughout the semester. So that's to make it more manageable for the students. Students also, once they commence, if they want to apply for a payment plan, they can come in and see our admin team and set up a payment plan that might suit how they're being paid with their work or something like that. But yeah, deposit structure is $1,000 at the moment to secure a COE. Yeah, I think that might be, that's pretty much covers it for now. And I just wanted to leave a good amount of time for questions because I know we've got partners from all over Southeast Asia, so I'm sure you've got lots of questions. So
Yeah.
Ivy, how do you want to do the questions?
Yes, yes. Wonderful presentation session from you, Simone. Thank you very much for the very wonderful testimonial at the end of your presentation. I'm sure a lot of our agents would be very interested. So during your presentation, we have many questions. So I will just walk through every single one of them. So
Fabulous.
I have one question from Jack Robinson. Are African students eligible to apply for July intake 2021?
Look, yes, we are still taking applications for students for July 2021, but I think we need to consider what the borders may or may not do and how things are looking from your end. But look, students are welcome to apply. We'll certainly take applications and issue COEs. And if the students aren't able to come in July, if the borders don't open, then we can defer them to semester 1 next year. No cost for deferral. And that's not an issue at all. So yes, they're certainly welcome to apply.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you. We have another one, which is, so we have a question asking about the link earlier when you walked through the students' courses for, international courses for students. So I will put that up right after this, and then you can see that in the chat box.
Yes.
Yes. So Deepak Panchal, I'm not sure if I say your name correct. Sorry about that. So he also have a question. So this agent is from India, I assume. There are a high visa refusal for diploma course in India. So do you have any recommendation for this type of VET course for diploma courses for Indian students?
Yeah, and the students from India, I would still recommend that possibly they need to look longer than the 1-year course. But it's certainly about writing that GTE statement and understanding the qualification and the practical elements. If a student has a bachelor degree, for example, from home and they're coming to study the VET or the TAFE program, it's really about highlighting in the GTE statement the differences and the return on investment for the students. So definitely that practical element that may not have been included in their bachelor studies. They may have done bachelor and then just have no actual experience. So those types of aspects is what we recommend you include in the GTE, and possibly they need to look at something longer than a year, so maybe a package of programs for immigration.
Yeah. So definitely look for the package program that Tafe Queensland is articulated to the university partners, as Simon showed us before. So of course, we would give you guys the PPT afterwards, so you guys can check on the list of the university partner that Tafe Queensland is currently having the package offer with.
Yes.
All right. So next up, we have another question. The possibility of the student applying, if they were apply for student visa, and they will continue to pay for every month while they are already in Australia. So I think you just touched on the installments before.
Yes, so the students, the letter of offer will break the total tuition fee up into semester installments and then 3 installments within the semester. But once students start, they can come in and set up a payment plan that's more suitable to maybe how their money's being given to them, whether it's pay, their job, or from family, from home.
Yeah. So definitely they can, the student, they can come to the admission or the financial aid office to ask for more details of the plan.
Yes.
All right. Yes. We have another question. So, this question is about the scholarship from,
we did have some Destination Australia regional scholarships. The last lot of those were going out this current semester, and I haven't heard whether we've got any more for future intakes at this stage. But yeah, unfortunately, I've got nothing for the future at the moment that I can tell you about. All I can say is that when students are, I know scholarships is the hot word, is that if students are looking between university and TAFE quals, is to just put the tuition fee side by side, and even with a scholarship, the diploma course, 14 to 16,000 Australian, is still a lot less expensive than the scholarship in many cases. So the diploma to degree package is always a good option for students.
Yeah, definitely. The student can actually save a lot for their first year with TAFE Queensland, whereas if they do the whole 3 year in the university, that would cost them a lot more.
Yeah, that's right.
Couple grand, it's easy.
Absolutely, yeah. Plus all the other benefits of the practical and the 2 qualifications, and hopefully part-time work as well. Yeah.
Yes. So how could we able to do placement tests for the student? Any guideline? Yeah.
I can share those documents with you, Ivy, to share with the teams. But we have a placement test. So students have 2 options. They can, if they're able to, they can come into your office and sit the placement test with you, or they can book through me to our English team, and they can do it via Zoom if they're not able to, if they're locked down, they can't go anywhere. We can do it via Zoom as well, and there's no charge to do the placement test.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. So another question about hospitality for certificate 3 and 4 in hospitality, such as patisserie, etc. The 360 hours of work placement for graduate to satisfy TRA's requirement for 485 skill assessment.
Okay, so what we offer at Tafe Queensland, and it's one of our most popular package programs, is the Certificate 3 in Commercial Cookery with the Diploma of Hospitality Management. So I think that's the package that you're looking at there for the 485. So we don't include 360 hours of work placement in that qualification. We have training restaurants at our campuses, which the students, that's their classroom. So they're cooking for these training restaurants. They're open for the public, and that's the first opportunity for our students to get that practical job work experience
Very
in
nice.
our restaurants. But our students, they are given logbooks at the start of their studies, and they all get part-time work to get their work experience hours up. So they just fill out the logbook, the employer will sign it off and the number of hours, and that logbook goes towards the skills assessment or used for the 360 hours. That way they're getting the work experience, but they're also getting paid. Sometimes if they go through it like a vocational placement situation, then it could be that the employers might not pay the students. They put them through more as work experience. So this way the students are able to work, and there's lots of cookery work at the moment. Like honestly, I walk around the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, and there are so many jobs available in restaurants and hospitality industry at the moment. So all our students are working, and they're sort of picking and choosing now which jobs they want to go to. Like I was talking to one of my students yesterday. He was working in a ribs place, and he's like, I want to do breakfast now, so I'm looking at 2 different places. I'm going to go and do. He wants to get breakfast experience as well. So that's great. They're able to get different experiences and choose at the minute.
Yeah, wonderful. I think that's a very good opportunity for international students, especially during this very unpredictable time. Right. So another question from Pena is that for a student that interested in early childhood education, whether any virtual learning for certificate 3 to diploma and bachelor degree, if I guess bachelor degree would have to be with the university partner, but for cert 3 and diploma, would they be able to study online since the border is not open yet?
No, we're not offering it virtually. The only programs that we are offering virtually is our English language. We did look at offering them virtually, but because of the unknown factor about when borders will open, it became quite risky that if students commenced a program and then weren't able to complete a program because they're not able to get into Australia, what if they don't get their visa approved and they can't come? Students would have had to have the OSH, they have to pay for their OSHC before and have COEs issued before they start the program, so it can actually count towards their post-study visa. They had to have all these requirements. It just became quite difficult and too many risks to deliver it, unfortunately. And specifically with early childhood, they need to be able to do that vocational placement in an Australian early learning centre or daycare facility. So there's lots of legislation around that specific qualification and nursing as well. So that's a long answer, but no, we're not offering it virtually. It was just there were too much risks for the students.
Yeah, understood. Well, we have another question from Philippines. So if a student who comes from the Philippines and study in a university that uses English as a medium of instruction, would she or he be able to exempt from taking the IELTS?
Yes. So typically if, they've done a 4-year bachelor, medium of instruction, English, look, we just need to be reasonable about it. It's usually within the last 5 years that they completed that degree. But if it's longer, then Philippines is always very good with their resume of work experience. So they will usually submit a resume together with that. And then I can take it to faculty and say, look, student completed bachelor in, say, whatever year. And then plus the gap between now and then, they've been working and speaking in English through all these jobs and communicating and typing or whatever in English. Would you accept this? And more cases other than nursing, it will be accepted.
Wonderful. All right. Another question from one of our Vietnamese agent partner is that do you receive the student who already got visa refusal before, and the student is studying English preparation and foundation program in Holland, and he wants to transfer to hospitality course here in Australia? And is there any GTE check requirements from the admission?
Okay, so the student had a visa refusal for 500. Look, we would look at it. I would look at it to see what the reason is for the refusal. If the student had submitted the application for them by themselves, for example, didn't put all the documentation in, and that's the reason for the refusal, then I'd look at that. But what I'd be looking to do is how we're going to meet the reason for the refusal, or overcome it, the reason for refusal. If I talk to you and work with you and we can come up with a reason how we would overcome that reason for refusal, then yeah, we would take the application. But if it was like a strong non-GTE and we can't sort of explain it, then no, probably not. It'll be too hard, too risky.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a legit reason from the consulate or the embassy, then it might be too risky to apply for the visa.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just that they've done it themselves and they haven't put forms in or something like that, and they've got a refusal. And and in that instance, I'd look at the application.
Yeah. And also, just a side note as well, if you got visa refusal from the US, which I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with here in Vietnam, so just reach out to us and give us as many details about the reason why they got refused, so that we can help you on the side as well with the case by case. Yes. We have another question from Catherine. Do you require any financial documents for the student to be admitted?
No, we don't. So when you submit the application to Tafe Queensland on behalf of the student, part of the agent's role is the declaration at the end to confirm that you've seen or you've talked with the student about the financial requirements. If immigration does ask, they're able to provide the required documentation, but we don't actually need to see it. We trust that you have had that discussion and you're confident that the student can meet financial obligations.
Yeah, wonderful. Any program for a PhD and ways to getting into the university from PhD? I think she meant physical doctor. Philosophy doctor program. So yeah.
No, I've got no pathway into philosophy doctorate. No, that's a bit more higher level. Definitely university. That one.
Yeah. All right. Is there any scholarship? So we just answered this question before, Edmund. So unfortunately for international student, we don't have any scholarship as of now for international students. So, but we will keep you guys updated if we have any like incentive or bursary for students in the future. So keep an eye for that.
Yes.
Okay, so this question is interesting. If you have any payment plan synchronized with other TAFE institutions in Australia. So I guess this question is about the kind of like the tuition fee being transferred between TAFE institutions within Australia.
No, because we're state government, so each TAFE is run by their own state. So so it doesn't cross over from state to state.
Yeah. So maybe you can elaborate more about the refund policy and all that for the student for the agent, just in case.
Sure. So when you get the letter of offer for your student, it's going to have all their terms and conditions. I think the offer is around 13 pages. And the refund policy is one that I would definitely encourage you to go through with your student or to highlight for the student. And it's also on our website. So it will depend, the refund will depend on how far in advance they withdraw, the reasons for the withdrawal. But it's all very clear and outlined in the student's letter of offer and also on the website. So you can click onto, I'm going to just find it for you, current students, policies and procedures. No. Current students, I'll have another go at this. Current students, student rules, and then right down the bottom here, further information for international students. So it should be, is it in here? Oh, look, I've taken you in the wrong direction. It's not on that bit. Where is the refund policy? Sorry.
No worries.
It's definitely in the letter of offer.
Yes, yes, always.
And it does depend on how far in advance and the reasons for the withdrawal and the request for refund. There's grounds for appeal if it's knocked back. There's grounds for compassionate and compelling. But if a student commences a program, then they're liable for the fees for that semester.
Yeah, and if they already paid for, I believe for most of the institution, if the student already commenced the course or they wanted to withdraw in the middle of the semester, they might be able to get refund for those unused tuition fee, which is maybe
typically if they've started the semester, then the fees are they're all allocated to that semester. They'd only be able to get a refund for unused fees for that semester under compassionate and compelling circumstances, and it would go to heads of faculty for consideration. So that would be case by case.
Okay, I see. Yeah. All right.
And we have done it before. We have had students, that for whatever reason it is, and they have been able to get refunds for the balance of their study.
Yeah. What is the cost for cookery and hospitality course, and what's the duration? So for the cost, we already put up the link in the chat box. Maybe you can quickly share with us on the shared screen as well, so that our agent can see.
Sure. So if I just jump onto international on our webpage, go down to the price list here. So that's one of our most popular programs for international students. 2 intakes per year. Scrolling. Okay. So that's this package here, Certificate 4 in Commercial Cookery and the Diploma. Total is $28,000. So we split that into semester installments, and then within the semester, we break it down into a further 3 installments. But it's to secure the COE for that, it's $1,000.
Great. Yeah, so this price list for each course, I already put, me and both Simon already put out on the chat box, so you can click on that link, just save it for your later use in the future, so you can go back to it, very convenient, very straightforward. Duration, also how much is cost, campus location as well. Yep. So what are the courses offered for civil engineering here in the Philippines? I guess what he meant is the civil engineering courses that offered at Tafe Queensland.
We have an associate degree in civil engineering. That's really, really popular program. It's a 2-year associate degree. I'm just scrolling now to try and find it. Here it is here.
Yeah.
It's available at our South Bank campus in Brisbane City. We have 2 intakes per year and we get really high numbers of applications for students because, for a number of reasons, it's got the tick of quality from Skills Engineers Australia, which means it's recognised around the world. So students can work in Europe, in the UK, in Asia, because it's got the Engineers Australia tick as well of recognition with it. There's vocational placement included in that qualification, $32,800 down into 4 semester installments. Students are coming out qualified engineers and able to work straight away. They can pathway to university. QUTs are really a popular pathway, but in saying that, they don't have to go on to university. And there's also post-study visa options with that as well. So students are going down that 485 pathway and then on from there as well. So lots of great reasons for the associate degree, why it's so popular.
All right, thank you. Okay, I think another question for the payment for the COE. The payment, 1,000 Australian dollar for the COE is for all courses. So with course that the student enroll, is the 1,000 Australian dollars is enough for the initial payment?
Yes, it is. Unless if the student has English with us first, then it will be the first 6 weeks of English and that $1,000. So 6 times 220 plus the $1,000. My maths is not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think they put 990, including Oh no, that's not quite right. No, it's 6 weeks of English plus 1,000 for the VET program.
So that would be
320. Yep. And that will secure COE for English and for formal VET program.
Yep. So I think that's all for this question. Another one is from a Korean student residing in Malaysia. Completed IGCSE at international program, and they be exempted from the English language requirements.
It depends on it depends on how many years they studied English. If they studied in the English school for English speaking school, if it's 5 years, then yes, we can use it. Malaysia, yes.
Yeah. And also, I think depend on how long have they studied in English instruction before they apply as well, right?
That's right. Yeah. If it's if they're looking for 5 years usually, but if they've got a good grade in English at the final completion, and it's not going into nursing, or if it's not going into the Bachelor of Dental Prosthetics, then I can look at it, and if there's any other points to put with it, I can take it to faculty for consideration. They're very quick coming back to me. I usually have a response within a day to confirm whether we can or can't do it. So definitely ask me the question.
Yeah. Next question, any intakes at the moment, I guess is still available for students to apply. This is an international student onshore and looking for further studies.
Yes, It has started semester now, but we have got late start for many of the programs. So do we know which program it is? I could maybe find out for you, or Ivy, we can find out afterwards, and I can let you check our list and see if it's still open. Some have closed.
Well, I think they elaborated as cookery and hospitality.
Yes, I would be able to get them into cookery and hospitality. I mean, we just need to let the students know that, you know, they're 1 or 2 weeks behind now, so they're going to have to work hard to just catch up. But yeah, we can still get them in for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. And I know that a lot of institutions, they would not allow the student to come in once the semester already started. So this is wonderful.
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's just there is a little bit on the student, and the teachers are, you know, have to work together. But yeah, they're pretty experienced with it now. We usually do get blanket approval for 2 or sometimes 3 weeks late start for the program. So the teachers are pretty good at sort of accommodating that.
Yeah, wonderful. Do we have any programs for architecture?
We have at the moment, well, it's not on the list at the moment, but there's a diploma of building design typically, but that's going through a training package review at the moment. So we're still waiting for the new training package to be released. And it's going to, I believe it's going to have the prerequisite of the certificate 4 in building design with the to go into the diploma of building design, but that's going to give the students the skills to be a draftsperson to design low to medium residential developments and properties. It's a really popular program typically because students can go and work in an architect's office. They know how to use CAD. At the end of their qualification, they walk away with a portfolio of the designs that they've done. And you can also usually, I'm not sure how they're going to offer it next, but we have in the past offered it as a dual diploma with the diploma of interior design because there's so much crossover between the actual architecture draftsperson and the interior. So we've offered that as a dual because students sort of need that, prefer that design aspect so that they can work across a range of or jobs within a firm. They can have that, they have design skills, they have drafting skills, they have CAD skills. So it just makes them more employable.
All right. So we have another question about the English program being offered online.
Yes.
Yes. So that would be possible for student would like to study English first and then package with the main course at Tafe Queensland. So maybe you can share a little bit about the price as well and the intakes.
Sure. So so we have intakes every Monday. The program for English is available either at South Bank in Brisbane, Southport on the Gold Coast, and also here on the Sunshine Coast where I am. This is the only program that we are offering virtually. So students are able to start their English at home and meet their entry requirements for English, and then hopefully borders open and they're able to come directly and to start their formal program. So they can save a bit of money there in terms of not needing to be in Australia to do the English component. The students have been having really good experience in our virtual program. They are teacher-led. It's not like it's a online where they're just watching something. They are teacher-led classes, and the students are having very good experience. But they start every Monday, and we have a range of programs. So general English, basic up to intermediate, and then students can pathway into our English for academic purposes program or our Cambridge programs, depending on what their outcomes and preferences are. And we also have IELTS preparation programs. So if students just want to do English to prepare for IELTS, maybe if they're packaging with nursing, they might do the IELTS prep. And then take the IELTS exam and then into the DIP nursing. But that's all the programs there on the price list. You can click in for further information, intake dates, and for your planning purposes, once you go into the program information page for English language, there's an English language calendar. I'm going to hope it's there somewhere for me, right there in front of me. It should be. Where have they hidden it? International. Where do they hide? Oh, here we go. Sorry, they hide it. view the English language program calendar so you can count the weeks for planning. If your student needs 12 weeks of if they're sitting around a 5, they could go into the EAP program, maybe study that virtually for 12 weeks and plan to come for the formal program commencing in July, the 13th of July.
Yeah.
But that's there, but we can, just talk to me, ask me what the plan is, or we can develop a plan together, whether it's a combination of offshore, virtual, or onshore.
And all these links, you can find it on the Tafe Queensland website. If you can't, just let me know, and then I will send that right to you.
Yes.
Yes. So we have another question about the Tafe Queensland courses being given online, and also the scholarship. So again, the scholarship is not available at the moment. Is there any Tafe Queensland courses that can be provided online at the given time?
Just the English language at this point, for the reasons that I'd sort of talked about. Like, students needed to have their health cover, they needed to apply for their visas before they actually commenced the course, and then so that was a lot on the students' part, a lot of investment before they actually left the country. And then when did the borders open? But also, TAFE is so much about practical study and being supported by our teachers in our facilities, which are simulated classrooms. So, it's very they just don't get the same experiences, coming here and being in our commercial kitchens with our qualified chefs, learning to actually cook, or being with our nursing teachers, and the classrooms look like a hospital and have all those facilities there, that simulated space, and the opportunity for the students to actually become confident in the qualification they're learning about by practicing in our classroom. So because we're just so very, very focused on practical job ready skills, it's hard to sort of give that to the student in an online capacity and be really, really confident and proud of what we're giving to the student. We really, we sort of just didn't feel strongly about it in the end.
Yeah, totally got it. Yeah, it's vocational, so it's require a lot of like placement and like face-to-face lecture. So that would be much better to do it in person once the student can come on shore and then start studying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This question is about the intakes. So we have I have my the course list for international student opener up right here with me. So it depends on the course, which course that the student wanted to apply. But as from my understanding is that student can apply for July intake. Some have like October intake as well for this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, Diploma of Nursing at our Gold Coast location has an April and an October intake. The majority of the programs will just follow January and July intakes. Yeah, and some programs, like some of these engineering qualifications, only have a January intake.
Yeah.
But the majority, I mean, that's only a very few. The majority are January and July.
Yeah, so I'm really aware of the time. So we have just some few more questions, and then we would wrap up for today. So I will note in the question that we cannot answer today. So I'll get back to you guys right after this webinar, if you don't mind. So question from an agent from Bhutan: is there any requirement or criteria for Bhutanese students?
No, not outside of our normal entry requirements. I mean, all it would be is the student's background. If it's a student that's coming straight out of high school and they're coming into a program, and that's like any country, then there's no background work experience that we have to explain the change of program or something like that. If it's a student that's sort of a mature age student and they've got work experience or in one area or another, or a bachelor degree in one area or another, and maybe making a change, that's when we'd have to sort of go into detail with a statement of purpose about why they're now choosing the program and how it's going to benefit them when they go back to Bhutan, and all those normal GTE that all countries sort of go across. But no, I don't look at Bhutan in any other, add any extra barriers, I guess, or hurdles for the Bhutanese students that they need to meet. It's just looking at their background first and see if there's anything we need to explain or justify the choice of program.
Right. Yeah. Other than that, we can just follow the standard GTE and application procedure.
Yes.
So that's good. I'm not sure if you can answer this question also from the same agent. If you can, if you know any like visa success rates from Bhutan.
I don't know the number. Look, a few years ago, there was a period when we were experiencing some rejections from Bhutan, and probably not in the last couple of years. I haven't seen a high number of rejections, which has been good. Although, I mean, I don't have a high number of students coming from Bhutan. Maybe it would be less than 15, I would say. Bhutanese students. So it's certainly hard to comment, and
totally understand now.
But what I mean, the Bhutan students typically do prepare a really good statement of purpose and explain the background and their research quite well, and happy to work with the agents to provide any information to sort of support the GTE preparation and things like that. But but then it goes into immigration, and then it's just sort of think whether they're shining a light over there or not, sort of thing. But in recent years, no, not anything that I'm concerned with.
So do not be afraid to apply for the course, as long as you know that you are confident that the student is genuine and they have the purpose of studying in Australia, then definitely go for it. We can help you on the side to help you screen the student and help you supporting the student as well if you need it. Also, about your question about the fees details, I already put that up in the question in the chat box, so you can also feel free to visit that. Another question is about student from. Okay, what course do you have to for onshore student to know more about local building rules and regulation with TAFEs?
That's the Diploma of Building Design that I talked a little bit about before. That's the draft person qualification that I'm waiting for.
I'm sorry, I think this agent meant by like something related to law or like regulations, courses.
Nothing legal.
Like
I mean,
legal,
nothing in the legal. Was it building? Was it? Did you say? Sorry, Ivy.
She said. The agent said about the course with local building rules and regulations. So I mean, maybe like building the rules and regulation and legal and like something like that.
or the trade qualification, like our Certificate 3 in carpentry, which is a building qualification. I mean, they're going to learn about the regulations that way.
I think maybe she meant by like legal or law.
Nothing in legal, no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, sorry.
Sorry. So a student flew from Taiwan at an onset of COVID shutdown in March last year. Visa expired. Will the student need to reapply when the border opened?
Could you say that one again for me? Sorry, Ivy.
Yes. So what I understand is flew back to Taiwan in March last year, and the visa is now expired. Would the student need to reapply once the border reopen again?
I mean, no, they can apply now. they don't have to wait for the borders to open. They can apply now. They can get the COE, and I think that's what immigration are recommending to students, to get those COEs ready for when the borders do open. So they're certainly granting the visas. So yeah, they can definitely apply now. They don't have to wait. If they get the visa and then the borders don't open, and say 6 months as an example, and then the student still needs another 6 months on the end of their visa, then we can fill out that form that will give the student the nil fee to have their visa extended when they come on, because it was due to COVID.
Yeah. So another question from Anthony is that is there any course relating to pharmacy technician or any or do you offer package English with pharmacy technician?
No, I don't have anything in pharmacy at all. I'm sorry. No, that is one that I do get asked about often. No, we don't have anything there. We've got laboratory technology and we've got anesthetic, but not pharmacy. No, I'm sorry, Anthony.
No worries. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for today. Yes.
Great number of questions. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, just last one.
Yeah.
Sorry. If there's a student from Nigeria, I guess, Nigeria, is 39 years old and wanted to apply for a management course, management diploma, and he has done senior secondary school with NECO. He will be applying for Duolingo by the end of this month, and he also has 10 years of work experience. So I guess he wanted to ask if this student with this background can apply for the management diploma of management.
I mean, that's certain. I mean, on paper, academic entry, he meets academic entry for the program, but it's the GTE side of thing for immigration is whether he's going to be able to get that visa, and given that he's 39 with 10 years work experience already, whether that's in management already, then it will be hard to sort of explain what extra the qualification is going to give, and how it's going to advance his career. If there is something that within the qualification, I'd say go and look at the units that are there and see if there are aspects of the qualification that he doesn't have experience in, and then it can be explained about how it's going to assist him to perhaps advance in his career. He's been stuck at a level and he can't advance further, then that's something that we can explain. But if it's just I've had 10 years work experience as already in management, then I think at 39 it's very difficult.
Yeah. Age would be a tricky part right there, and especially
you have
the
to
student already
explain.
have work experience. Yes.
There's so many more years of work experience that you have to explain. That's the part of it. Immigration's like, why now? Why not before? Why, all the questions that they are going to ask.
Yes. All right, I think that's it. That's all for the question. Thank you so much for your very engaging presentation, and also time to answer all the wonderful questions today from our participants. Thank you all the agents partner that very interested in TAFE Queensland programs today, and giving us a lot of good questions. We hopefully to get a really good number for TAFE Queensland in the future. And if you have any question, please do send me a message, and I'll put my my contact in the chat box. So if you have any question, you just feel free to send me the email right here. So yes, I think that's it for today. I will set out all the information, including the PPT and also the recording of this webinar today. For those of you who can't make it, please feel free to circulate that to your colleague, and we hope to see you in person soon once the border open.
I can't wait. I miss traveling into country and seeing everybody, and meeting with the students and the families. But thank you so much, Ivy and Yes Education, for setting this up for me today and the opportunity
Our
to
pleasure. Yeah.
talk with your partners. It's really appreciated. Thank you for all the great questions and the interest in TAFE Queensland. That's truly appreciated. And yeah, fingers crossed we can continue to work closely together for another good year.
Yes, yes. All right. I think that's it. And hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, take care,
Bye,
everybody. Stay safe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.